Hey everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. My name is LaShonda. Welcome to the channel. And I want to get on here tonight to discuss um, specifically the city of Nashville, the upcoming protests that include the city of Nashville and many other cities across America, and the dream that I received back in February of 2023. Okay, so I've actually had three. I'm in the Tennessee area. I live just outside of Nashville. I lived in Nashville though for 22 or 23 years. I just moved to my current city about 2 or 3 years ago. So I have received three dreams from the Lord about Nashville specifically, all tied to violence and chaos in the streets. Um, I did a video earlier today, but I took it down because um, I did not like the way it sounded, and since I've taken it down, I'm only going to post of the dreams that I've had because I think this one particular dream applies to what is currently happening in our nation. And in the dream, it's talking about, Nashville, downtown Nashville, um, being on fire, just people running, being shot, arrested, etc. So when I seen the stuff that was happening in LA, that was the first thing that I thought about was the dream the Lord gave me about Nashville. And just in particular, every dream he gave me was showing me that it was not going to be safe to be on the streets. Okay, so this is the time right now for us who are intercessors, those that God has been warning about these things in advance too. It's time for us to be praying for our nation, praying for our cities, praying for just the country as a whole, praying against the chaos in the streets, praying for if it could be somewhat of a peaceful protest. Um, I don't know if that truly exists anymore. But I want to show you all the dream that I had about Nashville. And I am showing this because Nashville recently got labeled as a sanctuary city by the Department of Health. What do they call it? Uh, Department of Homeland Security, DHS. They just recently labeled Nashville a sanctuary city because there was an incident that happened here about 3 or 4 weeks ago where ICE agents went into an area that was that's filled with a lot of Hispanics and other immigrants, legal and illegal. They went there and I think they pulled over about 200 cars. And I think they arrested around 94 people. And it caused a huge controversy here because they weren't telling the people where they took their family members. Um, they weren't giving any information whatsoever, but they got labeled a sanctuary city because they said the mayor interrupted what the ICE agents were doing. He got in the way of them doing their job. And because of that, they got labeled a sanctuary city. Before that, Nashville didn't call itself a sanctuary city. Okay. So now that the government has called them that, do not think that they're not on the government's radar. They are now on Trump's radar because the mayor got in the way of ICE agents doing their job, which was trying to round up people that were here illegally and people that were criminals in our country illegally. So Nashville has now been labeled a sanctuary city. I'm going to try to play this video. I don't know if it's going to work or not because I tried it earlier and I could not get the volume to play. But if you cannot see the volume, there is a closed caption at the bottom of it. You can just read the closed caption at the bottom. And then I'm going to show you all my video with my dream about Nashville because I believe that this particular dream is tied to what is happening now in the country. And there were two people, Brandon from Last Days and Joseph Z. They both said that there were going to be 10 cities um, that were going to be like somewhat under attack. And I believe he included Nashville in those cities. And the dream that I got, like nobody else has had this dream like I have received. If they have not shared it. So I'm going to share it. And the last time when I had this dream, I searched it, and there was a lady, Ellen G. White, who had this same vision about Nashville, like back in the 1800s or something like that. So I do believe that this is a prophetic dream, and I do believe that this is something that's going to occur because it was so vivid in the dream. But we can pray against these things, and we can intercede for these things. We can try to intercede, but if it's God's will, it's going to happen anyway. He just warns us in advance so we can warn the people in advance sometimes. Okay, so let me see if I can get this video to play, and then I'll play my dream after that. Okay.
DHS named Nashville a sanctuary city. Sanctuary cities are jurisdictions that limit their cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Nashville has not officially designated itself as such, and it couldn't. State lawmakers voted this year to criminalize sanctuary policies, and local officials who break the law risk jail time. We asked the Attorney General's office whether they would pursue charges against Metro leaders. We have not heard back. We also reached out to Metro's law director and are still waiting for comment. Now, we can tell you that Mayor O'Connell is already the target of a federal investigation for his comments and actions following recent immigration raids here in Nashville. Congressman Andy Ogles accused the mayor of keeping ICE agents from doing their job. And now, federal and state Republicans claim the mayor put immigration officers in danger.
Okay, so that was the video of City. All right. So next I'm going to play you the dream that I got about Nashville back on February the 8th of 2023. And again, I didn't release this word immediately because um, I really did not understand what I was seeing at the time. And um, I just wanted to hold on to it until I felt like it was time to release it. I released it back in June. And I'm going to let you all see this now. Okay, so hold on one moment and I will share my dream. And the thing about Nashville, like God has his eyes on Nashville, and it's for all the wrong reasons. Nashville has it's growing tremendously. Like I said, I've been here since 2000. It has grown tremendously, but the thing about it growing is it's grown to the point where it's put out its own people, put the people out of the city that were born there, raised there, were living there, and the people that are from here can't even afford to live in the city anymore. Um, they have started pushing all these agendas in the school system. They're pushing the agendas on the children, and just Nashville has become very um, prideful. They have all these celebrity bars they have built downtown. Like every country celebrity builds a bar in downtown Nashville. Like how many bars can you put in downtown Nashville? Like if you look at Nashville, every bar you see downtown now is owned by a country music star. Okay. Like they all get their own bar. So, but so like I said, the dream that I had was tied to downtown Nashville and it being destroyed. And I'm the only one I know that's gotten this vision. But there are other people. If you listen to Little Promises, she actually walked the streets of Nashville and prophesied um, to the people on the street during Pride Month, which actually, ironically, is this month as well. Um, and she did give a word that said that Nashville would be, I think she said they will be destroyed because of their pride. Okay, so listen to the video, and I will be back in just a moment. Where this is on a loudspeaker. Gotta go back. So I'm gonna tell you about this dream I had. And I had this dream on February the 8th, 2023. So almost a year and a half. Okay. So in this dream, I was dreaming I was in downtown Nashville. It looked like a war zone. The buildings were on fire. People were running everywhere. They were running and they were being shot by the police. Okay, you couldn't drive a vehicle over there. I'm not sure if you've been to Nashville before, but usually you can drive a car. They have one-way streets. You can drive your vehicles through there. Um, but there are some parts now where they kind of block off vehicles because they have so much traffic through the downtown area. Um, so you can only walk on foot. You can only go so far. You come to a dead end. You were able to enter some of the buildings, but after that, you had nowhere to go, right? The buildings have been trashed, bathrooms filthy. Um, and in my dream, I was with a group of people, and we're just walking through. We just noticed this. We walked through the middle of downtown, right? And I had this dream back to back, same way, back to back, except the second time I had it, the same thing happened again. Everything I just relayed, except this time who I was with, um, the police stopped us and they arrested the people that I was with. They didn't arrest me. They arrested the people that I was with, right? So after they left, I was trying to find my way out of the downtown area. And I walked into a building, like I said, it was trashed, bathrooms were filthy. And I walked into a room. It was like an office building. But I walked into a room and there was a table, like a round table, an oval shaped table in that room, and there was a bunch of men sitting around it. A bunch of men were sitting around, and I believe these were white men, right? They were sitting around the table. They looked at me, and I walked back out. So when I walked out of that room, and I was, like I said, I was trying to find a way to get out, right? And I'm just in this open space in this office building, and I heard a voice loud and clear say, "Can you hear me?" And it sounded like it sounded like it was loud. It sounded like the word was on a loudspeaker, like somebody was speaking through like a microphone or a megaphone, and it said, "Can you hear me?" And it was so loud, so clear that I woke up and I started to speak out loud, and that's why my dream was ended. Okay, so that is the dream that I had about That's one of the dreams I had about Nashville. That's actually the very first dream got from God about Nashville. The other two dreams, I'm not going to share those, but if you wanted to go check those out, you can on my channel. They are both called something like the streets, chaos in the streets, the purge, and I posted these on September the 7th. So if you want to hear those, you can go listen to those. But I believe those two dreams um, are for a different time frame. This dream in particular that I just showed you all, I do believe that this is tied to what is happening right now in the country. Because as I look at what's going on in LA again, it's very similar to what I seen in the dream. The chaos in the streets, the people are running, they're being shot by the police, they're being arrested, the buildings are on fire. But again, I'm showing this again because June the 14th, okay, June the 14th, if you have not heard, June the 14th is called No King's Day. It is going to be a day of protest in a lot of cities in America. It's like a national day of protest, including Nashville. They will be participating in this protest called No King's Day. So this is on June the 14th, this coming Saturday. Um, and this happens to be Trump's birthday. It also happens to be the day of the military parade, okay, that Trump is having. So Nashville is in this participating of No King's Day, along with many other cities. There are some cities in Texas. I believe it's Houston, Dallas, um, Phoenix, Arizona, Little Rock, Arkansas, San Diego, Boulder, Colorado, Montgomery, Alabama, New Haven, Connecticut. There are many major cities that will be participating in this protest on Saturday. So, with that being said, we just need to pray about these events that are occurring right now in the country. Pray for the state of California. Pray for any other cities that are protesting right now. Um, if you live in Nashville, pray for the city of Nashville. Um, and just, intercede for the things that are happening in our country. A lot of this stuff is happening because God is trying to get our attention, and He's just allowing it to happen, right? No matter what kind of demonic forces are behind it, it is being allowed by God to occur to wake the nation up. Okay, so again, if you live in Nashville, share this video, um, and just pray and intercede for your state, your city, and your country. All right, so leave your comments, like and share the video. If you yourself have had similar dreams about Nashville, if you live in Nashville, um, or if you know someone that's had something similar, leave it in the comments below. And thank you all for listening. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.